Hey everyone, so this is going to be my first tutorial on this new channel of mine. I still have a channel, but that's going to be used solely for sort of the comedy videos that I like to make. I wouldn't really call them comedy videos as much as me just being weird videos, but people seem to really like those. And so I was finding it really hard to balance the beauty videos, which I really like, as well as the me being weird videos, which I also really like. So I thought I'd just make a whole new channel for the beauty videos, because I really sort of stopped making a lot of beauty things on that last channel. I don't really know why. I just sort of felt like I was getting kind of overwhelmed trying to figure out what I should film when. So this way I have two separate channels so I don't feel like I'm letting anybody down. If you really hate the funny videos, you can watch these. If you really hate these type of videos, go check out my other channel called MissMadelynMakeup. So we have all that out of the way. Basically this look is a really light, soft and pretty fall makeup. I was thinking of coming in with a bang, with a really big makeup or a costume makeup, since it's nearing Halloween. But I thought I would do something that I consider to be a really sort of nice, soft, very easy fall makeup with really light eyes. I know berry lips are always what a lot of people think of when it comes to fall makeup, but since it's September 30th right now, so it's just sort of transitioning into fall, and at least where I live it's still pretty sunny and fairly warm. It's in the low 70s, so I don't really feel ready to be wearing complete berries all the time. So I have some berry tones and some earthy tones without being full on fall, so this is going to be a transition color into some fall makeup. And I will do some berry smoky eyes and some colors with you know, real berry lipstick. I could not find my favorite berry lipstick. I was so sad. So I had to settle for a pinker one. So, yeah, if you'd like to see how to get this really light and really simple fall makeup look, please keep on watching. Alright, so to start out, I am going to use a foundation. Now, what foundation you use really depends on your skin type, what kind of coverage you want, etc, etc. So my skin today is really clear. Normally I have acne 24/7, like it's an all day, everyday thing. So it definitely ranges from being mild acne to pretty severe acne. So I have a couple foundations just to sort of suit whatever my skin is feeling that day. But today, since my skin is a little bit more clear, I'm going to be using a lightweight foundation. And this is the Bare Minerals Original Foundation. My shade is called Fair. So I'm just swirling this in. I'm just applying this all over my face in little circular motions. And I'm going to go back and just put one more layer of this right over the areas that I have the most blemishes and scarring. I have scarring down on my chin. Alright, now I'm going to do blush. Now if I had used a liquid or a cream foundation, I would move on to my eyes now and let that foundation really sink and settle into my skin, and then go back and powder and then do blush. But this is a powder foundation, it's fine. So I'm going to move on to blush. Since I want this to be a bit more of a fall look, sort of, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Studio Blush in Mellow Mauve. This is sort of a berry color, but it comes off very sheer, just sort of like a more berry mauve pink. It's really pretty. I was nervous when I first got it because I'm so fair-skinned, but it actually looks really beautiful on. And another e.l.f. product, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. Is that what it's called? Oh, bronzing brush. I wouldn't use this to bronze with. It's an angled brush. I'm just going to get this in my foundation, or my, why do I keep saying foundation? I have no idea. I'm going to get this on the angled part, and I'm going to take this to the higher point of my cheek. So from up here, sort of parallel to my eye, and then sweeping it down. Go back with a little bit more, and just take a tiny bit right onto the center of my cheek, or where the apples would be. So that's the blush. It's very light. If you really love the blush, if you're really a blush person, feel free to add more. But today and most every day I add just enough to add a very, very light color, a light flush, like glow to my cheeks, but I usually don't like very bold blush. It might have to do with the fact that I'm so fair. I don't know, I just never really liked that. I'm going to add a highlighter though. This is a MAC Mineralized Skin Finish from their Quite Natural collection. It's called Redhead, so you can't get it anymore. You probably could at a CCO or something, but you could just easily use Soft and Gentle, which is their permanent line mineralized skin finish. This color has, or this particular one, has sort of a champagne color, two sort of mid-tone rose gold, and then pretty much a mauve-y rose gold. So I'm going to use the two middle colors on the same brush. You could use a different one if you want, but I didn't use enough of the blush to actually leave too much color behind. I'm going to tap that off. So I'm going to have that follow the exact same shape that I put my blush on in. So sort of a C shape around the eye is a nice way to describe it. And instead of sweeping, I'm just more pushing this into the skin. Same thing over here. But basically, for the eyes, you can use whatever little eyeshadow palette you want. If you have Naked 1, Naked 2, a MAC palette, whatever. I'm using this Lorac palette that I got the other day for $15 at Nordstrom Rack, so I'm really proud of that. This has really, really gorgeous fall colors in it. All you really need are matte white for a highlight, sort of a light taupey color, and then one or two berry shades and maybe a darker brown for accenting the crease. Alright, so for my brow bone highlight, I'm going to be using this shade right here, the one farthest. This is very, very similar to Blank Type by MAC, which is my personal favorite brow bone highlight. Yes? I'm filming a tutorial.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Now for brow bone highlights, I generally prefer, actually no, as an entire rule, I would say to not use anything with shimmer in it. It picks up on any little stray brow hairs. It doesn't bring it forward as much as you think it would if there's a shimmer in it. I mean, it makes it stand out, but it doesn't really give any lift as much as a highlight, and we want a lift as opposed to a highlight. Okay, so now on the lid, I'm going to take this really, really small little, this is called a shade brush from Eco Tools, a little travel kit that I have. And I'm going to take this sort of light taupey brown color. I'm just going to place this right onto the lid. And just pack it on. That means just press it in. Alright, so now in the crease, I'm going to use another e.l.f. brush. This is called the contour brush. This is also really great as a concealer brush. And I'm going to take sort of a mix between these, the three more plummy shades. So these two right here, and then this one right here. I'm just sort of going to mix them a little bit together right on the mirror to get sort of a nice middle ground color there. Alright, now I'm going to take this and just really, really lightly work this into my crease, barely even touching the eye. Okay, so once you've blended that shadow out in the crease, just to give a little bit more depth, I'm going to go back in with another Real Techniques brush. This is called the Accent Brush. Move my mirror. And I'm going to take, there's this really nice sort of shimmering brown right next to one of the plum colors that I used. And I'm going to take just a little bit on my brush, tap the excess off, and I'm going to take this just into the little outer corner bit of my eye. Just enough to add a tiny bit of sort of a darkness and depth to this part to make it a little bit more cat-like. Sort of a cat eye shape, I mean. And once again, I'm just going to hold my eye slightly taut and just blend that out. Alright, now I'm going to go in with that brown color again with the same detail brush. I'm just going to smudge this lightly onto my lower lash line. Okay, next I'm going to do my eyeliner. The eyeliner is really easy. All you need is a pencil and a liquid or a gel. So the pencil that I'm using is Urban Decay 24/7 in 0. I've loved the heck out of this. It's almost gone. I'm going to tightline my top and bottom water lines with this. For eyeliner, I use the L'Oreal Linear Intense Carbon Black. This is a felt tip liner pen. Looks like that. It's the easiest thing that I have found to put on winged liner with. I'm basically just going to trace a really thin line across my top lash line, then really lightly wing it out. So when you make your wing, you don't want it to come out too far because the emphasis of this look is not going to be the winged eyeliner. So you just want to make it come out just to where your crease starts to fold in. Alright, when you're done with your eyeliner, you can just put on some mascara. It doesn't really matter what kind you use. I just use the L'Oreal Telescopic in Carbon Black. Whatever mascara works for you. I'm going to move on to my brows now. As you probably noticed, I am missing half of my eyebrows. I pluck them at about where the arch is, just because I really don't like the way that the tail grows naturally. I don't do anything to the front part. I think that grows really nicely, but the rest of the brow is really hard to follow. So I just like to go through and just with really light hair-like strokes fill in the front bit of my front part of my brow, and then create the tail in the shape that I like. If you would like to see a separate brow video, I could make one, but I think I'm just going to do this and then just sort of fast forward through it, and if you have any questions you can ask. Alright, now for this really nice berry lips, I'm going to start off by lining my lips using a color that's the same one or a very good match to the natural color of my lips. So for me that is the Revlon Exaggerate Pure Color Lip Liner in East End Snob. And I'm just going to use this to follow the natural shape of my lips. I have fairly full lips, so you can make yours a bit fuller if you want, or you can make them thinner, whatever you like to do with your lips. But I generally find that just following the natural shape works for me. Okay, and now originally for this tutorial I was going to use the Revlon lipstick in Black Cherry, but I could not find it anywhere, so instead I'm going to use the YSL Volupté Sheer Candy in Mouthwatering Berry, which is pretty much the same color. It's a little bit more sheer, and I didn't want to use it because this is a bit more expensive, but Revlon Black Cherry, same color. And I'm just going to use the Detailer brush by Real Techniques, which is a concealer brush, but I prefer it as a lip brush. I'm just going to really work this into the lips, going back and forth. I put the product on both sides of the brush. I find that this makes the product last a lot longer and just come a lot more true to color than if you were just applied directly from the tube. Alright, so once you have a good, like one thin layer of whatever lipstick that you're using, if I were using the Revlon one, I would just put a clear gloss on top of that because that color is very opaque, and I was going to use the I Love Candy Philosophy lip gloss, or I Love Candy Corn. But since this is a very sheer lipstick, this is actually a gloss stick. I'm actually going to put this as the gloss directly over it, just to really make sure that we get that berry color. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you found it helpful. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel to show me some support, and I will see you all later. Bye!